it comes to touch, I often find that people say their partner isn't touching them properly, but they don't know how to express that. Do you find that?
You know what I find a lot is, I find women saying, and then I told him to touch me that way, and then he lost his heart on.
What? Who says that?
So I think what happens is, it's all very well saying, like, when you're in the bedroom, tell your partner what you want, tell your partner how you like to be touched. But I think what's missing in that conversation is also be sure about how you tell your partner how to touch you. So I've been with women who have been like, no, don't kiss me that way. Stop kissing me. No, harder there. No, faster there. No, touch me like this. You see, that's a turn off. That's been a turn off for me. Mm-hmm. And I think that sometimes when people try and express how they feel and what they want in the bedroom, they get a little bit like anxious about it, so they just blurt it out. And the blurting out comes across as command giving, and no one likes to be given commands in the bedroom.
No one wants to be bossed around.
Well, unless that's your thing, in which case,
well, that's a whole other show.
In which case, we've sorted that out up front. But most people like to be shown, and so I've found what works for me is that instead of saying to your partner, "No, don't do this," "No, harder," "No, faster," "No, I don't." No.
That already sounds really bad.
Terrible. Is to show. So if your partner, a big problem that guys have is that they rabbit away, so they just pound like
like a jackhammer,
like a jackhammer, or they in that case, if that is happening to you, the simplest thing to do is to just show them. You grab their butts and you slow them down. And here's the thing I think that is going to be interesting to do on camera is also you've got to use your voice, and you can be sexy about it. So you don't have to be like, slow down. It can be it can be like, oh honey, just get a little bit like vocal about it. Use your voice, get vocal, get sexy. You can play with it, and that means you don't have to be militant. You can show, and also with the jackhammering, get on top. That means that you can control the movement. And tell them what you like. Oh, I love it when you go a bit slower. That's really doing it for me. But the thing,
you're turning on a lot of people right now, Dorothy.
And the other big problem that women come to me with is that their partners want to swap positions a million times. And I've found that you literally just have to say to the guy, I need you to not change position every 5 seconds. Like, this is really working for me, and I just want to stay
when
here.
When do you say that? During?
I usually find that after they've changed position, like the 4th time, I'm like, honey, I think we just need to go back to, that was working for me. Let's stay here. Yeah. You get a little bit Barry White.
There's a lot of Barry White. So really,
listen, take lessons from Barry White. Listen, if I had to choose between like militant sex and Barry White sex, I would go with Barry White.
It's true.
Yeah.
So now, that all sounds fine and great to do all of those things, but how do you break those militant habits? Because it's not like the militant people are going to go home now and be like,
channeling Barry White. Listen, I think the first thing to do is to also just realize that sex is fun and you can play with it. And so I think that it's very uncomfortable for a lot of women to slip into the sex kitten role because, there's a lot of politicizing around it or issues around like how to be vulnerable in that and how to have, fun with that. But I think if you can slip into that space and see it as just being fun, you're just trying stuff out. My God, you're not like stopping nuclear war. You're having fun. And so I think what would be help is to just slowly start changing your mindset around what it means to be in the bedroom and to be having sex with someone that you're into and that's fun for you, and to realize that you can play with that. And then if that means that you need to go and like do some research about how people speak in the bedroom and how to and what things to say and how to say it, then you do that as well.
So stop taking it so seriously.
Stop taking it so seriously. And remember that you have control. Some people will say like they don't like the way that their partner doesn't spend enough time on foreplay, or they don't touch them enough or kiss them enough. And so the simplest thing to do is just to show them. So if your man is coming up for air a little sooner than you want him to, just make a whole bunch of sounds and gently push him back down.
I like that advice.
Encouragement goes a long way. Instead of saying no, say a lot more yes. Instead of saying, especially if that's what you want. The difference is like, no, I don't like when you don't give me enough oral sex, to like, oh yeah, I love when you give me more oral sex, that's really great. Oral sex is a bit like dry. You'd use more words that I can't use here now.
So it's really just taking the negative and making it positive.
Yeah, taking the negative, making it positive, have fun, put in a role. If it's a sex game, use your voice, use your hands, use your bodies, get a little bit of Shakira in those hips. There are loads of ways to show and tell, and it doesn't have to be a militant operation.